This is probably one of the most underrated lenses out there in my opinion. Oh my God. The Tamron 28-200 is a really interesting lens. It is a variable aperture lens, so it is a little bit on the cheaper side. Well, I think that's kind of an understatement. It is fairly cheap. You can get it for underneath 600 bucks. And that is a super versatile focal length, 28-200, so that kind of piques people's interest. But the real catch is that the variable aperture is honestly not that bad. It's an f2.8 to a 5.6. Now granted, that is 2 full stops of light, so that is kind of tough to make up for depending on the situation that you're shooting in. But I will say, and I would like to remind people, if you are somebody shooting a lot of outdoor sports, shooting on a variable aperture lens really is not that bad. Even more so for photos, I mean, you could just change to the top half of that variable aperture. So in this case, at f5.6, I would just set it to f5.6 so you're not changing the lighting of the photo a lot. If you're shooting outside, it's really easy. But having only a variable aperture f2.8 to 5.6, usually the variable apertures are a little bit higher. Usually they're like f4 to 6.3 or like 4.5 to 6.7. Usually it's much higher, which means your image is a lot darker. So I will say for somebody that's trying to get a all-in-one lens, being able to start at that f2.8, which by the way, the f2.8 is I think from like 28 mil to like 30 mil. So it doesn't last very long. But I'm currently shooting on 28 mil at f2.8, and you can do the same thing with that lens. So if you're somebody who wanted to make like content or even do some freelance, having f2.8 at 28 and 30 mil is pretty good. And then being able to get that 200 mil at only f5.6, that is really solid too. That gets you some really good reach, all for underneath $600. But let me know, my professionals out there, what do you think of this lens? To my intermediates and all the way to my beginners, I want to know, do you guys think this is a really underrated lens, or do you think it's just another variable aperture gimmick?